Hello everybody. In my last video, I talked about why I needed to do this new project, my moss pond. And then we spent most of the video doing a DIY filter build. It is, for those who didn't see the first video, it is a hook and feed livestock feeder that you hang on a fence. And we've got, here's my new sponge. We got a Eco Plus 396 pump. We drilled a hole into there. We made spray bars to distribute the flow throughout the bottom of the bucket. Then the bucket is 3/4 the way filled up with lava rock with a top layer of pea gravel that will be used as a planting medium, because the whole point of this thing is to make a filter planter, a DIY filter that is also a planter. And I did hang the light. I just found a stud, put it in there, and then there's a couple of the drywall. The one and the stud will hold the whole thing. This is just a little baby, the same name brand, same style, the 150 watt version, ones that I use on my other ponds. But this is just a 50 watter. Let's get the plants. Let's see what we're gonna do. And to show you guys where it is in relation to my house, this is the end of my sectional couch. And right here's a 75-gallon green jade tank. So this is where it's at in my house, and we still have old ball stuff storage. And here we are. Look at those beauties. I wanted to get something that wasn't too big, and most importantly, lots of houseplants that like water, had to like water, are poisonous, and so it had, and get like 6 foot tall. But I do some research to figure out more about these plants, and I think I made a good choice now. We'll have to wait and see how these end up growing like this long term. But I'm fairly confident that if we do this right, they're going to be just fine. So the most important part, I do know this, is that you want to get all the dirt off the roots and slowly separate it. When I pulled that pot, the first pot out, I realized these are nothing more than cuttings with just a few roots on them. So that's alright. I know nothing about houseplants, so maybe someone here that knows, maybe someone will tell me, you're doing it all wrong, it's horrible, this will never work. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens. And so we got all that separated out, and for all you guys that want to know, Betonia, I'm not even going to try to say it, but right there it is. Alright, let's see if we can get this in here. So when we're doing this, it's important that we keep in mind we have this up here. The rocks are built up higher than the water level. Only this, where the roots are, will be wet. Everything else will be dry, because these are land plants. These are not aquarium plants. And they'll not like getting wet too high up. We want it so only the roots are wet, and not even the crown is in standing water. We just want the roots down in that area. Let's see if we make it happen. Yeah, I'd say that one turned out pretty good. I ended up dividing those two anyway that were rooted together. Take a look at it so far. Let's go do a red one. Alright, I don't know what you're getting here, but I just got the sink just barely trickling. And you just kind of massage this potting soil mix off the roots. These red guys, isn't that just a pretty little plant? Man, I hope these guys do good. That is beautiful. Man, I'm excited about these plants. And you just keep working on it till you get all the dirt out. And look at this. Just look at those. Man, those things are beautiful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be doing all right. I think I did everything I could possibly do to enhance my chances of success. So you can see here the crowns of the plants are up above the water line. Just dipped. Their roots are just dipped into the water level. Really all these things are cuttings right now that are just now starting to get roots. That's all they are. Alright, so then to get the rest of this thing going, it's going to be a moss factory. So we need some moss. And I tell you what, of course, in my brain, I tell myself it's for moss. But in my heart, I'm going to end up using this thing for my Guppy line, the Japan blue red mosaic crosses I've got going on. Those things are super awesome. And they'll also keep, if any stray shrimp do end up in here, having guppies will really help with that. Filter finished. Look at that flowing out there. So these spillways I did numerous water tests when I was cutting these spillways out. I didn't talk about in the first video. So this side right here by the sponge, I made it so this is just a trickle so that the planter and the filter doesn't have a dead area. So we got some flow coming out of there. We got pretty decent flow coming out of here, but then like 75% or more, right, 80% of the flow of the filter is coming out here on the opposite side of the sponge. Makes good sense, I think. So that is that. That's it for the filter. I talked about the LE power. You get them on Amazon. I got a 2-pack for like, I think it was less than like 30 bucks. These things are so cheap. And they seem to work pretty good. I don't have any moss in buckets right now. I have to harvest some moss. So sometime in the next day or two, we'll throw some moss in here and maybe a guppy or two. And here we are a couple days later. It is full of moss. The little plants are looking good still a couple days later. And look what we've got in here. We've got some of the Japan blue red mosaics. My crossbreed I'm working on guppies. I'm thrilled to death. I'll have some more space to put guppies. And I've got lots and lots of space to put moss. So now when I reset tanks, I don't have to worry about stuffing all that moss in a 5-gallon bucket and changing the water in the bucket every couple days. I can just put them in, put the moss in here, and it can grow and be happy, not just chill in a bucket under a light waiting to go out in the mail. So these are the actual guppies that I put in the tank. These are my Japan blue. They're essentially a Japan blue body with a red mosaic tail. I've had my Japan blue line and red mosaic line for years. These are the ones that the top 2 males. I only had 2 males pop up like this, but I was like, man, I got to keep these and try to do some with these. These fish are awesome, but the fish that actually went into the pond are what I was after. So if the fish that I put here in the pond keep going the way they are and the line keeps going as it was, I'll be thrilled to death. But those 2 fish that I kept for the breeding project are out of this world. But if we can keep just the same quality that we just put in here, that would be super awesome, because these guys are sweet. All right, so let's close this video out by taking a look underwater of this little aquatic moss world that we've just recently created. Take a look at the new guppies in here. Look at their shadows, that light cast. That's pretty cool. And the shimmering effect of the LED spotlight. That's super awesome. The filter, the sponge. We got a couple guppies over here. They're not really angled so you can see them that good, but they're really pretty, I promise. I covered the whole bottom. I tore down my blue velvet tank. I pulled out all the moss that needed to come out in there. And Just the 140-gallon tank covered the whole bottom of this stock tank. So I got plenty of moss for a while, and as I need to do more tanks, and as the moss goes out, I'll replenish it. And now this will keep the moss nice and green and fresh and happy for the journey to my customers. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.